Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It's the latest from A24, and it's a horror thriller comedy of sorts. There's a lot going on here we're going to talk about. It's about a group of rich 20-somethings who plan a hurricane party at a remote family mansion. But a party game soon turns deadly in this look at backstabbing, fake friends, and one party gone very, very wrong. When A24 puts out a new horror movie, I automatically want to see it. They've given me a lot of great films over the years, and of course with this film it was no different. But this isn't a normal horror movie. In many ways, it's a satire. And for that reason, a lot of people are going to be divided on this movie, I think. There's aspects of the movie that I didn't necessarily connect with, and there's aspects of the film that I thought were extremely clever. What I've noticed over the years when it comes to satire in film, not every audience member connects with it, and sometimes it goes over their heads. And that's because I think we've become conditioned to be informed when we're watching a comedy. Whether it's the musical score, the editing choices, gags that occur in the movie, or even the poster design, we know when we're watching a movie that's meant to make us laugh, and so we go in ready to laugh. But sometimes horror thrillers that are also secretly satires, in this case not so secretly, sometimes that can put an audience off because they go in expecting one thing and they're handed something else. This movie also has a very difficult task in that the majority of the characters in the movie are Gen Z characters, and it's also satirizing Gen Z. And so it's sort of poking fun at its own audience as well as the characters that are in it, and not always poking fun. Sometimes the movie is vicious. It is absolutely brutal towards the way people talk and people interact with each other. The movie's taking a huge risk in making fun of its own audience while also inviting them to come to the theater and support the film. But I think the movie pulls it off very well. I didn't find the movie mean-spirited. I didn't get the sense that the writers and director were angry or rageful. It just seemed like they found a really fun idea and a very good vehicle for mocking the way a lot of people have discourse on the internet nowadays. The movie's primary message perhaps being that we will inevitably destroy ourselves if we continue down this path, and it uses the very extreme lens of horror to communicate its point. And while not every joke landed, I mostly found myself very entertained by the choices in the movie, and there were some things about the film that I thought were really impressive. As already stated, the movie mocks its own characters constantly, but that also presents another challenge because you have characters who are super rich and are very privileged and are deciding to have a party during a hurricane. So that gives you your idea of where they're at in their lives. So even though the movie is attempting to discuss class status and how we react to things that we experience in a very extreme way nowadays, you also have to deal with those characters for the whole movie, which can get on your nerves a little bit because the characters are supposed to be so extreme that you start laughing, but you do still have to spend a feature-length runtime with some of them, which can be annoying. I was most impressed with Amandla Stenberg in the film. I thought she was really good, but I was also really happy to see that Maria Bakalova is in a new film. I thought she was incredible in Borat 2. Legitimately one of the bravest performances I think I've ever seen. And so I am really glad that she is not just going to be the girl from Borat 2. She's getting more opportunities to be in film, and I'm just really happy for her because she's great in this movie too. The whole cast is great at portraying these characters, but like I said, you have to occupy a theater with them. And they're supposed to be very annoying sometimes. And if you're not on the movie's wavelength, that might be a chore for you. I will also say this movie's marketing is very clever. It's made a lot of people think that it's a slasher, and even critics are describing it as a slasher. And I suppose if you really wanted to, you could call it that, but I really don't think it should be marketed that way. I think that will only lead to disappointment. This movie is more of a whodunit, with some blood and gore mixed in occasionally. If you go in expecting a satirical whodunit that pokes fun at the way we discuss things online, while also satirizing an entire generation, while welcoming said generation into the theater to support the film, I think you'll have a really good time with Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So check it out when it comes to a theater near you. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmannized.